Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving if you're in Canada. Hope that everyone's enjoying their long weekend and able to spend time with family and friends and talking about all the things we're grateful for, because that's really important. And I believe that's something we should do every day, not just on a day of thanks like today. So this is another elaborate spread. I've been called back, I guess, to do some more lengthy readings. Usually I don't do long readings like this, but there's new energy that's set in, and it's caught me off guard, certainly, but I'm sure if you're tuning in, it's most likely similar situation for you. I hope that these messages find you well and can provide some guidance. And as always, please ensure never to replace anyone else's judgment with your own or thoughts or feelings. Only take what is in resonance with your highest and greatest good, and always check in with your own team before you make any life-changing decisions, all right? So let's set the intention here for love and light only, and to clear all dark energy that would otherwise try to confuse or surround this reading. Call in Archangel Raphael, is presenting himself here. Archangel Sariel. And if you're not familiar with these angels and you're open to receiving their protection and their love and their healing, just call upon them. So you need to provide permission, and they'll be more than happy to assist, okay? So we have a raspberry quartz here, we have carnelian, we have peach moonstone, a beautiful citrine over there, water tourmaline, and a selenite wand, and behind there, and our beautiful selenite bowl here. So I have jewelry inside and some other crystals. So if there's been any black magic that has been cast upon you because of your beauty and because of the beautiful things that you have, or when you wear beautiful things, people look at that and become envious. These are people that are trapped in shadow and really struggling. So with envy and jealousy, we just want to clear that energy out of our fields, return it back to the sender, but send it with love and light, okay? And assist them in finding their own beauty within, and appreciate all of the beautiful qualities and things that they have, okay? All right. I do feel that another reason that I need to come online is to assist people with removing blocks and otherwise dark energy interference, curses. Curse is simply a bad intention, and I'm not minimizing it by changing the word in a sense. It's just to make sure that we don't give it too much attention and give it power when it has no power, okay? It's very important to know that, and to know thyself, and to trust in the light and the love, and have faith, and know that you can clear all of these things outside of anybody else, person, place, or thing, okay? But if you're struggling and you're not sure and you're new, I know when I first started learning about this, of course, when you hear these things, it's extremely frightening, because a lot of the times it increases the fear, because you're making connections and you're understanding that, wait a minute, that makes sense. I think this applies to me. And then, opens the door to so many things. And it took me a very long time to, after studying and experiencing different things, my team helped guide me and really just bring in more light, trust in myself, to trust in the divine, and know who I am. And once I started trusting that, staying calm when I would encounter an energy or make a connection that something like that is being sent my way, I would simply go into meditation or prayer, and I would just see myself being very strong and stand there very courageous and shine my light as bright as can be. And then just stay in that energy and send out that light. If it didn't work, then I would call in for help, and usually in time it would be gone. And sometimes it took more than one exercise that I just described like that to do it. But certainly just know that you have the ability to remove all these things, and that it only creates like a dense energy around you, and it can be dumped in your fields, especially if your fields aren't strong. So it's important to do a lot of energy clearing And that's different for everyone. There's all sorts of modalities out there that can help you. You can do it yourself. You don't need to go see anybody. You just sit there and really focus in on your fields, and you'll sense and know where there are blocks or if something dense is in your field, and just give it light, send love and send it out. Okay, or repair it, But if you're in tune with your guides and your team, they'll help you as well. You just need to call upon, okay? So I don't know why I prefaced with all of that. I hope that helps, but certainly I know that this reading is going to encompass some dark things, and I just want to make sure that it doesn't create fear for anybody that's tuning in, okay? Because certainly that is never the intention. If you feel that way, it's important to step back and just reframe your perspective and your thoughts and just trust that you're okay. Even though it feels, I'm not minimizing that feeling. Okay, I don't want to take it away or invalidate how anybody feels. It's important, though, not to stay trapped there, not to feed that more fear energy. Okay, face it, but bring in light to remove it. Okay, see, turn on the light, look. Because you've been able to do this, Divine Feminine, you're going to attract a partner, all right, that is going to share, that's going to be in the same vibration as you, where you'll be able to share a life with this person in resonance with more love and light, as opposed to a lot of this darker stuff, okay? Because I feel like I've had a partner and I attracted a partner that had a lot of this. And then there was another partner that came back from a long time ago that was more in the light, I would say perhaps, but certainly much younger soul who didn't have as much maturity and maybe soul experience on this plane of existence. I guess perhaps more like as an incarnated being. So it was difficult because this other partner that I had was very, very prominent, very powerful, and there was a very strong connection, a beautiful connection, but a lot of dark stuff. So again, back to my story, it took a long time for me to better understand all of this, to understand who I was, and to appreciate and understand that I decide what happens in my life. And regardless of a strong connection like this, I stand on my own 2 feet and I make decisions that's best for me. And it's always important to keep yourself safe, especially when somebody is trapped in energy like this or is in this energy with other people around them. Okay, because that can be amplified, and that happened to me. So it took a long time for me to clear all of this and to learn more about myself as I journeyed and faced all of this, and better understood my past lives where I struggled because of stuff like this. And because I didn't know myself, my fate in those lives was very different than today. So I've overcome a lot of that in this life, and that's the point of coming back. And I've been successful in doing that. And I believe now I'll be able to attract a partner that is more in the same vibration in light, because, we're both doing the same work at the same level. Even though this person is extremely important to me and I have tremendous love for this person, and I would have at one time wanted this with this person, I think that it's a science, right? So if the vibrations aren't in line scientifically, it's not possible. I'm not a scientist. It's hard for me to explain, but if the vibration isn't the same, it's like magnets. It won't work. It'll be more of a repelling. And the confusion is that at heart space, it doesn't feel that way. Okay. However, we can't force people to do the work. We can't force something to be that isn't meant to be, that isn't the right time. Okay. And I know this is very difficult sometimes to sort out. And even I was very confused and sometimes get confused. And when I'm in a state of confusion, I know that there's something that I need to clear. I know I have to step back, spend time alone, and focus and meditate until I find my way. And you will, I promise. And the most important thing you can do in a situation like that is spend time alone. Okay. because the more energy you bring in around you, that can cause more confusion, okay? So boundaries are key. Boundaries are key. So there's a lot of truths that are coming out, and the full moon is going to allow that to happen. And know that you'll be protected and safeguarded as this truth comes forward because you're ready. Okay. And even this person here, because I'm going to channel a situation where there's multiple people involved. Okay. For one of the partners that you care about, viewer, that is mostly struggling right now, mostly in their dense, dark, shadowy kind of aspects of themselves are prominent in their life right now, they're also going to have some clarity. And so they're going to make advancements and they're going to progress. But because you're so far ahead, it's not enough to raise the vibration to a point where you could consider being in a relationship with somebody like this, is what I'm channeling, okay? You're already there with somebody else. Even though you're not physically together yet, you are both turning the light back on to each other after a very long time of doing the work, because you guys have been doing the work. I feel this part of the reading feels very high vibe, very, very like sun and bright and loving and caring. That's why that citrine is here, protecting, okay? This is more the past and darker energy, I feel, and these people are going to be afforded an opportunity to clear, and that's great because they're scared. Okay, they know now, I think, that they've been doing wrong and manifesting with wrong intentions, with bad connections to things that aren't healthy and appropriate, okay? Or they could be, the devil card's not out, but I sense a little bit of that, but it's because they're rejecting it. So now that's good because you need to be aware. Then it's like, okay, you have to heal it. So you have to understand how you got there to be able to heal it, okay? And I think that's where these people are at. They know they've made mistakes. They know that that's why their life is foggy and it doesn't feel good. It feels heavy and dense. They see you in a completely different energy and they don't understand because I think they've played super major mind games with you for a very long time. And you weren't bothered. You were, but you weren't. Okay. You kept it pushing. You trusted yourself. You loved yourself. You still sent this person love, hoping that it would change, but you kept going. And that was the key. And this is what's going to help wake this person up, especially if you're twins, because sometimes and you'll know when you're at the point where you have to physically separate and move away because they're in this energy, because otherwise they'll never change. And if you stay, it prevents them from being able to move on, and it prevents you from being able to move on. Just know, spiritually speaking, you're always connected. You can always help at that level. But, we are here as incarnated beings to enjoy our life, to appreciate all of the things that are available to us in a physical state of existence. Okay, there are beautiful things available to us here. So the divine doesn't want us to say one twin succeeds more, to sit here and not enjoy those things. And for some people, if it's having another companion, another higher divine counterpart will step in. We call them walk-ins, okay? I posted a video yesterday and I used the word false twin, and I don't like that term, and I never really believed that it was what it was intended to be when people started to use it. I think, again, that's confusion at that time. And it's not that this person isn't that, it's just that this person isn't a match at a specific time for a specific reason. It doesn't take away the fact that they're still a higher divine counterpart to you, okay? And it doesn't mean that you can't build a bond or relationship with another higher divine counterpart. Because, again, you're not meant to be here alone if you wanted to enjoy it with somebody else. I don't believe that we're meant to be alone when we come. I really don't. But to each their own, that's how I feel. So, there's repeated messages from yesterday. But I will review a little bit. So again, I was saying, without seeing all the cards here, I just channel the message, and then as I see the cards and it makes sense. I was talking about a higher understanding about the dark things that would have happened, right? That brought in this fog. And look, the Hierophant is that higher understanding. They're willing now to fight off whatever's coming towards them. So there's a fighting chance here, like I said. And the divine spoke up and said, enough of this. I think they received a warning, however they would have received that. If it's a person, if it was just in thought, meditation, a dream, however it came, they were warned to say, listen, if you don't make changes, if you don't stop, you're going to lose everything. And I think that's how this person feels right now. I think they feel alone. Okay. I think they see you in the shadows having walked away. Okay. And they understand, and I'm not even getting that they're necessarily upset, because a part of them gets it, because they know that they weren't in the right energy. They know that they did you wrong. And they also know that you love them still and did a lot. But if you walked away in a different way, because I feel like there's been a shift lately for some of us, they know, okay, and they understand, and it is what it is, right? So I think that they're going to own it, and they're going to take it, and they're going to mature, and they're going to understand that they cannot continue to live like this, and they have to protect themselves, and they need to now go back to the drawing board and do the work. Okay, the work that they've been avoiding, the work that you did, Divine Feminine. This is why you're going to have your Four of Cups or your Four of Wands here. Okay, you can have peace knowing that this other person as well is going to get through it, because I still feel like see, you're in the right position. That's the masculine's position. This one here is needing to heal a feminine part, a part of his feminine energy that would otherwise prevent him from tapping into his emotional body and feel safe and secure and nurture. It's not that feel nurturing, he feels nurturance from you, but like to give it back in a way that he feels comfortable, not so nervous, okay, and shy and that type of thing. Because he really wants this. You both want this. This is at the middle here, and you beat it. You over whatever would have been a challenge to achieve this. You dealt with it. Look, you're still standing, and they sat their butts down, and it's like, okay, we get it. So you've already done this, Divine Feminine, but I'm wondering if this other person is the one that perhaps recently had to do this. So, if you haven't heard from them, maybe this is what they were doing. Yeah, healing chaos, look. Healing chaos. And the Fool, brand new beginning. Wheel of Fortune and Sun, so you'll have your destiny and in the sun, okay? It's going to come to the light, what was destined here. And you will have it. You will have your destiny, I promise. So the Lapidia light here is also safeguarding this reading. It's going to help with calm, focus, and serenity. Okay, that's here, this card here, and I sense a little bit of what this person is wanting, but they can't get there yet because there's still stuff that's trapped in their fields from this growth. Like, this is really doesn't feel good here at all. Oh, my goodness. I feel like this is you, Divine Feminine. You were blocking whatever magic was being sent your way here. And you were the target, but you don't, once you understand this and get it, there's nothing they can do, okay? And you're protected and safeguarded, and you always were. But the key was for you to believe in it and for you to embody it. And once you did that, I feel and I see the arrows bouncing off your back because there's beautiful angelic shield there. And you're not bothered, and you're like, bring it on. I know there's clouds. I know they're sending me all this stuff. I don't care. I'm connected to Source, and I know what brings me joy, and that's where I'm going. We have Saint Germain here too, okay? Love beyond time and space, centeredness, reverence. Yes. It's key. Sacred geometry, okay? Archangel Metatron as well is really helpful in creating shields for situations like this, okay? And the other thing here, I just want to point out, It's very frustrating because I can feel frustration here, and I don't blame you for feeling this way, especially if you tried to warn this person and help this person, maybe in a gentle way, maybe in a more direct way, however you did it, to try and bring attention to the fact that this was happening. Either they were participating unknowingly, but there was somebody that was doing heavy duty stuff like this in their life to cause problems here, to create blocks, to prevent you from being together. Okay? And he knows, and he's fighting it, trying to fight it now, and he's struggling. And he's too proud to tell you were right. He's too arrogant to come and ask you for help. That's fine. You don't have to. Figure it out yourself. Okay? Because Divine Feminine, you're going forward. And again, I feel like this card belongs over here, so we're going to move it. Because I feel like you've already done that. You see the flexibility here? Look, that card. Look. You were always flexible here, even though you knew this was happening. And they worked tirelessly, these people. Look, Three of Pentacles. But it's dark. Look, there's nothing there. There's no light. It's not working. It's neutralized. It's dead. It's dead before they even start. And they spent a fortune. I'm getting like some people, because it wasn't working anymore, they were obsessed, and they just were reaching out to people all over the world. These people that claim that they do all this stuff, and they charge thousands of dollars, and these people were spending all this money. And you see how he's looking back? Because he has to. The divine needs this person to understand, because if and until that happens, this will continue. He will continue to attract people in his life that does this. And it will block his abundance and all the abundance in the people that are in his life. This is why you were protected, Divine Feminine, by not being, if you left, by not having this person come back. Even though it's somebody that you loved deeply and you wanted that person to come back. Do you see here? Look, you left. You're like, see you later. I have to go. But I know you didn't do that harshly. I know you didn't do that in an angry way, even though you were angry and hurt. Because you're a higher evolved being. You had higher level of consciousness, meaning you understood more. You felt more. You knew something wasn't right. And you mastered this here, okay? And for that, you were able to attract a new partner. Good for you. Good for you. And you cut this person out at the exact right time, just so you know. Just so you know. The space was needed, okay? I'm noticing number 23, and it was 2311 time for the recording here as I was looking down, so that's really important. But we're healing the chaos here after a very long journey of clearing all of this, and you needed to clear all of this energy as well and separate the energy. So what belonged to this person, you needed to make sure it was all cleared from your field, sent back, whatever, transmuted, dispensated, however you were doing it. That took a very long time. And until your fields were clear and ready and open to receive somebody else, you wouldn't have had anybody coming in. And that was the divine's way of protecting you. Your higher self was also working with divine simultaneously to guide you properly, to make sure you were safe. This stuff's no joke, okay? This stuff can make you sick. It can cause delays. It can create like ripples, like I'm seeing like a ripple in the timeline, where you're just walking, all of a sudden you trip and fall and you don't know why, stuff like that. Okay. However, you have the power to pick yourself up and keep going and smoothen out that timeline and know that no. I create my reality. I'm in charge. This is not something that's going to have power over me. And again, I trust that the divine keeps a close eye on this as well and will ensure that you have support, extra support and help to deal with this stuff as well, because you're never alone. Okay. So I see the number 13 and that there's an end, that there's going to be an end to this fog here, because he's ready to move out. And again, I channeled yesterday that there's going to be still contact potentially in terms of a friendship or a collaboration. Maybe if you work together, you'll still be good friends at work, colleagues and things like that. But in terms of a partnership romantically and personally, and your personal lives as a life mate, I'm not sure that this is the person that will end up with you. I don't sense that, but because this person has to go back and see how you're looking forward, and this couple's going forward too. Okay. The judgment is, or the divine is judging all of this and is watching everything. This is spiritual court as well. So just know that things like this do not go unseen, and it will be sent to spiritual court. People will be in spiritual jail. What that means is your abundance will stop. Their abundance will stop. The ones that do this, you won't be able to just, if you think, oh, you're purchasing a spell or whatever it is that you're doing, and oh, your hands are clean. No. Whatever judgment is rendered in spiritual court with stuff like this, the divine is tasked with that. Don't obsess, don't think, don't worry, don't feel like you need to know what it is, because that has nothing. You need to not ever give energy or thought to this stuff, because the more you do, the more it feeds it. Trust and know that the divine is going to handle it. Okay. The divine appreciates how flexible you've been with this person, but enough's enough. Okay. You have the right to this new beginning, and you will have it. Look, this is what they wanted. This is what they wanted. But joke's on them. You faced this and you won, and you beat out this death card. Okay, and you transformed in a way that you became a more beautiful butterfly than the divine ever imagined you would become. And that's why this sun card's at the top here, and you will have what's destined to be yours, okay? That's why the sun, after tarot, the sun's coming out, look. And these are the karmics, look. And the people, when I say karmics, I just mean the people that were in your life to teach the lesson. The lesson was that you would face a darkness like this, and you either were going to be taken by it or you were going to overcome it. This was what happened. You overcame it. Good for you. Okay, good for you. And so your new beginning is being reset here, and it's being protected by the Archangel Metatron. Look. And it's leaning forward. Oh my goodness, it's incredible. So I'm just gonna heal and seal. I'm wishing you all the very best, and stay strong, okay? Just know that you can overcome this. And even you, okay, this divine counterpart here, you got this. You can do it. Be smart. Think back to the information you would have been given and try again. And if you can be brave and courageous, I'm sure if you reached out and asked for help, I wouldn't say no. If somebody could, I'm in service. I don't say no. Even if the person that comes to me has done things in the past that hurt me, and most of the time, I feel very open, and I help people. I don't turn people away. Okay. We're all here to support each other, even people that are trapped like this, okay? But the key, Divine Feminine, was for you to release yourself from this, because you're not bound to this. And that's really, really, really hard to figure out, because the love, the bond is very deep, okay? And that's fine. You can have a deep bond like this, but it doesn't mean you have to stay. Because this person will never get it, will never learn. But they are now, because you left, okay? They know. They know. They might not admit it, but they know. They know. A Queen of Swords is no joke. You would have spoke the truth enough to know. You were very gentle. This isn't a nasty Queen of Swords here I'm getting. Very, very smart. You did your work, and this is why you've succeeded in the way that you have so far. Archangel Michael too is somebody and his legion that works very closely with divine beings that are here on mission, especially twins that are trying to sort out their stuff, right? Like I said, we're not sent here alone. So a lot of us do spiritual work in the spiritual realm, and we're still going to be doing that. And Archangel Michael is always available to us. So you just need to call upon, okay? And I include in the highest divine light just to make sure that you're pulling from the right place, okay? And I can feel there's a lot of questions out there for some of the viewers that are, in this and very curious about where things are going to end up, very concerned for their person. And just, and I can appreciate that. And I think that in time, you will be shown, if you're meant to know, how this person's doing. Either you'll run into them, or this person will reach out, or the divine will share with you in a private way, if it's in meditation, or through an animal, or another person might share. I don't know. But I just don't want anyone to be confused and think that I think ill of this. No, I don't. They were misguided, okay? And usually because of a pain. And I know in my life, my past lives and stuff, I was shown where this happened with this person here, and it was because I passed away in a horrific way. And the pain was so deep that he turned away from God. And then it just carried on, and then all these other things set in. And this is what we're clearing in this life, is all the karma set in from all these lives after, okay? So it's tough, and it wasn't easy for me to see all this. And it's very confusing because what you're shown in past lives isn't what's happening in this life. There could be similarities, okay? And I wanted to just kind of blindly forgive and just absolve everything that happened after, and we can't do that. That's enabling, okay? That's enabling. It's because when you're twins and you're connected, you feel the pain at a very deep level. And sometimes the pain I was feeling, I knew wasn't mine, it was his. And I still feel it right now, channeling this person here. And I feel a tingling over my third eye. So I feel like some of us are getting upgrades to our chakras as well. And that's really important, especially when you connect with somebody new. Because ever since I connected with this person last week, I felt like a reignition in some way of some codes within some of my chakras, because it's a different person. So you're going to link up in a different way, and that takes time, because, if the light comes in and the codes come in too quickly, you could shut down. And that just means you could faint, you could collapse, you could have some serious health issues. Our energetic system has to work in tandem with the physical body, and every chakra is linked to an organ, to a system. So it's got to work very gently, okay? So just be really careful. And that's why sometimes when you see energy healers, they have to be careful and not kind of bring in too much light at once. And always make sure people are grounded. Detox, yeah, that's what's happening right now, I feel. I got a message this morning about health and nutrition, to be doing this for myself, okay? So I'll be doing that once I'm able to set up some time on a weekend, probably. And take a breather. So, since your last encounter, right, you've been detoxing for sure, and you're taking a break right now. And look, spiritual court. Decide the outcome. I feel like this is this person here. And the court said no. No, it's not going to be allowed. Okay. Yeah, see? I'm sorry. But it's the right decision. You have to trust the divine. They know, okay? Yeah. You said no. Or the divine said no, and you trusted the divine, so you would have known and you would have just kept going. So you're safe. You are definitely safe. And, you know, this is what this new couple here, your new person that's come in, you know, a lot of work to be able to get to the point where you can speak the truth with each other. And I feel like you're going to go on a trip on your second date. You're going to travel somewhere, do something fun. I was getting a message about a boat yesterday from this person spiritually, and it was interesting. I didn't understand, but there it is. Okay, there's an opening there. There's a portal. You see that bridge underneath? That's a portal. These are your guides. Okay, they're going to help you relax and do what you need to do. But congratulations for having faith and turning on that light. And the divine wants you to have fun. Just laugh. Okay? Everything will be okay. Promise. So we're going to send this person the violet ray, and Saint Germain, I think, is going to try and reach out and work with this person to keep them safe. You're also going to keep this person safe because I still send my person as much protection as I can. So one last card here, Journey of the Soul. That's kind of what I was talking about. Number 46, Elegance, Mastery, Totality. You are mastering in this life what it is to be a magician in the light. And you're overrunning and you're taking down covenants and dark beings and entities that have operated in this dark way for a long time. And the buck ends here. Congratulations, because you've done it. Peach Moonstone, beautiful crystal here. Look it up. Okay, look how it's kind of in line here. This kind of goes beautifully here too. You're moving in the right direction, okay? Your crystal master healer. So the crystals are key. Okay, they're also going to help keep you safe. So keep fighting for your destiny. Ooh, you see that? Yes, because they're still sending it out to you. So we're going to correct that. Nice try. I'm going to do a smudge for us just to make sure. We thank Mother Gaia for sharing this beautiful Palo Santo with us for healing. All right, everyone. That feels much better. I'm just going to pull some cards from Yeshua. Yeshua's another beautiful master healer and somebody that fights this type of energy with mastery. He faced it when he was here, as we know. And let's see what he has to say. According to your faith, be it unto you. So exactly, have faith and know that the divine's always here. And there's that boat again. Look at the sun. I had a fire last night, and I had a fire with my person, my new person last weekend. All right. If you believe, you'll receive. Where's the other one? Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. These are the questions you need to ask, and this is what this person's asking. I felt as well last week, and I was surprised that this person was using the word God, and I believe that they've been touched in a way that they aren't sure quite yet how to talk about it. Sometimes when it's new and you become enlightened spiritually or touched by the divine. Sometimes you're shy. It's hard to talk about if you're not comfortable and you're not used to it. So, this will assist as well with this person to open up more. And I think they have a lot of questions and they're really shy, but they'll ask. So Hawk's Eye, Falcon's Eye. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. Because I was talking about the third eye. Look. Clarity, third eye, insight, protective, balancing, intuitive, and psychic development, grounding, concentration, communication. Hawk's eye is the natural blue form of tiger's eye, said to give us sharp focus, concentration, and clarity. Sometimes we need to fly above the situation to see the whole picture. I was talking about being above with the flares. I posted just an audio of me talking yesterday. I was channeling and I was talking about that, and I saw that we were above it. Okay, and I believe the one I gave this person a lot of crystals. One of them was this. Okay, and that's key. That's key. That's key. Holy, fantastic. This is wonderful. Thank you to Yeshua. Thank you to the archangels, Saint Germain. Thank you for being present here. Thank you to the divine. Thank you to our guides and our spiritual teams that are tasked with overlooking all of these things as we kind of exist and move through our journeys. And it's important. We appreciate you. And if there's anything that we can do to assist down here, let us know. Keep moving with faith. Okay, 4114. And just know that nobody can take this from you. All right? Be courageous, be strong, and shine your light, okay? Sending everyone much love and light. Take care.